Hey guys, welcome to a new video, and in today's episode of Let's Talk About, we are talking about the announced Bifrost roster for the upcoming NLC Div 1 Spring Split. So Bifrost as an organisation are a Norwegian organisation. They have played most of their history within the Telia series in Norway. They have placed third in the summer of 2020. They finished first in the spring of 2021, and then most recently they finished second in the summer of 2021, where they ended up actually having a really solid showing in Telia Masters, where they finished third place, just slightly outside that top two, which would have, in a normal kind of split, gained them the chance to play for promotion into the old top division for the NLC, but obviously that never went ahead due to the takeover from Freaks for You. They then obviously played in calibrations, where they made 4 changes to their roster from summer. They then managed to obviously qualify into Div 1 through the calibrations phase. They ended up beating X7 3-0, which gained them that Div 1 qualification. Since qualifying for Div 1, Bifrost have seen quite a drastic change in terms of their roster. From summer to the calibration, they made 4 changes, and then from calibration to the new spring split, they have made a further 5 changes to their roster. Within those changes, they departed with their pretty long-term mid laner HH Neverlucky, who had been a part of the organization for quite a while, dating back to spring 2021, so about a year, which in kind of that kind of level of League of Legends in the Nordic scene is quite a long time for a player to stick by a project. Obviously, with those changes, you expect some upgrades. So let's talk about the players individually. We'll start with the UK veteran top laner Shikari, who joins the kind of Bifrost roster, bringing so much experience, playing for so many big names, playing with big players, that have obviously gone on and been very successful. He's obviously done really well for those rosters and stuff like that, with a lot of first place finishes, mainly within the UK scene itself. But he's dipped in and out. He obviously played one split in the old first division for the NLC, playing for that Munster Rugby gaming team that obviously got a lot of bad press for everything that happened after the split, but during the split performed pretty well. He's obviously recently in the summer been playing in the LFL. He's been playing for Izzy Dream and that, but obviously now with this Bifrost roster, he makes his return to the Nordic scene. Moving on, we have the Danish jungler Seaboy. He's another new addition to this roster. He's obviously spent a lot of time in the PG Nationals playing for Matchco Esports. In the PG Nationals, he won it twice for Matchco, both spring and summer last year. So obviously very, very good performance within Italy. In those kind of obviously 2 wins, obviously that meant that they've been taking part in the EU Masters, where they have finished 9th to 11th and 13th to 16th. So not the best of results in EU Masters, but very dominant over the course of their spell within Italy. Recently, however, he has also helped natives qualify for Div 2. So he's played in the calibrations for natives. He's now making that step up from Div 2 into Div 1 with a very, very strong roster. But what makes part of this roster strong is definitely found in their mid lane, with someone who is no stranger to the top division within the Nordic scene. We have got the ex-S&G mid laner, Fury. He obviously joins the roster, as I say, from S&G, after 2 very impressive splits for them in the old top division of the Nordic scene. He finished 4th in spring playoffs and then 3rd in the summer playoffs. So he's just not quite gotten into those EU Master spots. Obviously, in the old system, it was the top 2 from the Nordic regions from the NLC made it into EU Masters, both missing out just by the slightest of margin. So he's hoping, or he's going to be hoping, to break that curse with this brand new roster. Now, last but not least, let's talk about this bot lane. This bot lane is made up of the ex-PDW ADC, OD11, and the ex-Movistar Riders support, Duel, or I hope I said that right. These two, in my opinion, looked to be set as one of the most impressive bot pairings and most exciting bot lanes to watch. These two players are phenomenal, and what makes them phenomenal is their kind of previous split accolades and also what they've done so far and how they performed in those kind of rosters that they were a part of, obviously PDW and Movistar Riders respectively. Oddy, he finds himself coming the back of a very successful split in the Ultra Liga, where he led them to win season 6 playoffs. And then obviously from that he played in EU Masters, where he finished 5th to 8th. Duel himself also a very successful split within the LVP, finishing first in the main split and then just falling short of the margin in playoffs, finishing third, but obviously also secured an EU Masters spot as the LVP have 3 spots open. They ended up also finishing 5th to 8th, but they fell just short, falling to the eventual finalist, Fnatic Ryzen, who obviously came from the Nordic scene themselves. Obviously, both players are joining a roster filled with so much experience and knowledge that, in my opinion, for this sort of a roster, anything less than EU Master qualification would seem like a massive surprise. So it'll be very interesting to see how this roster fits together. Obviously, quite a lot of new components coming together, but this roster is very exciting. Very much looking forward to this roster coming together. And like I said, anything less than EU Master qualifications for the caliber of players would definitely be a huge disappointment for these players.